Hi, welcome to Paige Family Homestead. Today we're going to combine potatoes and a puff pastry and make a really awesome puffed potato, and it's baked. It's not deep fried. Stay with us and we'll get this all put together. Okay, so let's get started. What we're going to begin with is half a cup of water into our pan and 1/4 cup of softened room temperature butter. I'm going to put that in there. I've got it on like a almost high, not quite high heat. It doesn't take long. We want the butter to melt primarily before the water boils, if we can. If not, I'll have to adjust the heat. So we're going to be bringing this to a small boil. And what we're doing is making a puff pastry dough. And oh my God, the sky's the limits with this. We can make them into desserts. We can make them into fancy little carriers of your potato salad or what have you, using it as a pastry. But today we're going to add a mashed potato. You can use leftover mashed potatoes. And we're going to turn it into a potato puff. Now, the ingredients I'm using for flavors are totally what we like. So you're going to change yours to suit your family. These are made in the mini muffin tins. You can make them in the larger as well. They serve up nice beside a steak. Put 2 or 3 of those little ones beside a steak, or maybe one big one with a nice veg. Or you can serve them up in a luncheon. They're very light. So we know this is ready when it starts to boil. Normally I'd put a little pinch of salt in here, but I'm not going to, because in the next step I have my salt in that section. So I don't want to oversalt. And always try to use a non-iodized, like go with your pink Himalayan or sea salt. Sea salt's okay. Try to get away from the iodized salt as much as you can. My oven, thank you, is preheated to 450 degrees. And we're almost here, so I'm not even going to jump you away. You can see it starting to boil. So at this point, I'm going to lower my heat maybe down to a 6. And I'm not going to put this in slowly. I'm going to dump in my half cup, that's right, had to check, half cup of flour. And we're going to stir this all up. And it's like, oh, what a mess. I'm going to turn it down a bit more. This is going to all come together into a nice little dough ball. Got to get it mixed in real good. You can use a whisk for this part, but it all gets caught up in the whisk. Then you got to dig it out and again. So I hate dishes. I don't have a dishwasher. I am the dishwasher, so I choose not to go that method. Now see, there's a little film in the bottom of the pot. We're going to keep going just a little bit because we're trying to get the moisture out of this dough and cook off that flour taste, right? Just going to keep working it a little bit, just for a few minutes. Ideally sift your flour. I did not, and that's why I've got a few little pieces, but if you don't see them, I don't see them. And off the heat. So what I'm going to do now, I'm just going to keep stirring gently until the sizzling stops here. And I'm going to need this to cool down just a little bit, because as you can see, the next item into play will be eggs. And I don't want to cook my eggs. So I'm just going to take this and put it into a separate bowl. And just kind of separate it a little bit. So it cools quicker, right? Instead of a big mass, it'll take a little longer. I don't know. I don't want it cold. I'm going to let it go for, say, 10 minutes. So I'm going to set that aside. While I'm doing that, I pre-cooked 3 to 4 potatoes, medium sized. It's hard. How do you measure the size of a potato unless you have an exact measurement? What's medium to me could be large to you, vice versa. So what we want to end up with, or 2 cups of leftover mashed. I didn't add anything to this. I just mashed it. You could mash it with a fork. You can put it in your blender thingy, mixer. I don't care. I just used a hand masher. Now at this point in here, I'm going to add, I cooked 3 strips of bacon. Now sometimes when you cook them nice and crisp, I didn't want to burn them, you get those ends of the fatty, you can't really cut those up and have them appealing. So I took those off. I just, you know, so I got 3 strips of bacon minus the ends. And in here I have, now this, don't go by this, go by what's good for your family. For us, we're big on garlic, so I do have a tablespoon of garlic in here. But keep in mind, it's going to make 24 little mini puffs, right? I didn't have cayenne pepper, so I just threw in a 1/4 teaspoon of chili flakes. And then I put a 1/4 teaspoon, sorry, 1/2 teaspoon of onion powder. Oh, what's that? Sage, parsley, again 1/2 teaspoon, 1/2 teaspoon, salt and pepper 1/2 teaspoon each. The salt I used sea salt, and the pepper was fresh ground black. So put what your family's going to want. There is no law in this, none whatsoever. And not going to save the egg. I got a little cheese. I found I made these as an hors d'oeuvre, just, you know, something finger food for our jammers. We jam every Saturday night, and we all loved them. But one friend and I thought, oh, pick it up again a little bit. Let's put some cheese in there. Now, normally for to use it for a meal, like I said with steak and stuff, I don't know if I'd put the cheese in. But as an hors d'oeuvre, I think I should have. I'm also going to, when I'm done this batch, I am going to add, I'm going to make another one, but I'm going to do it with the gluten-free flour and see if I can't fix up 24 little potato puffs for our nephew. I'll let you know at the end of the video how that worked out. If you don't see a picture, I think it sucked, and if you see a picture, I think it's good. So, so what I'm going to do here, set this aside. That's our mashed with whatever ingredients you want. You know, if you don't have bacon, use little pieces of ham, like whatever. Try to think something that's going to complement your meal. So, just going to feel this. It's cooled. So what we do now is I'm going to take 1 egg, toss it in, and we're going to start to mix that together. And this is when you do this for the first time, it's scary. I mean, look how gross this looks. It's like, how is this a dough? What do you mean this is going to make pastries? It will. We just have to keep working it. Mix it in. The flour is going to absorb all those goodies. We're stretching the gluten by doing this and absorbing. That's why I'm wondering if it's going to work well with the gluten-free. We will see. Do not use both eggs in at the same time. You can see the mixing struggle I'm having here. That's 1 egg at a time. Don't do 2. Don't cheat. I mean, good for you if you did, and you can, but why? I want this to work. This is coming along beautifully. Now, make a little well. Let's put our last egg in. Can't wait until it's our own chicken eggs and I don't have to deal with these gross store eggs because I can't find anybody who sells them locally. I'm so sick of town eggs. Now, you could also add in additional seasoning if you want, but I'm going to let the dough stand on its own because I got some pretty heavy happenings in there, right? But this is so versatile. Good thing my hands aren't crippled. Oh my gosh. They actually are. I'm being sarcastic. So you can do this with your stand-up mixer. You can do it with a hand mixer. I'm trying to rough it out by doing it by hand for you because not a lot of people have those tools in their kitchen. And why should they be made to feel like they can't enjoy doing some good cooking? I mean, great-grandma and grandma didn't have all these fancy things we have today, and they made by, didn't they? Obviously, because we're all going back to their recipes. So here we have it. How about that? If you wanted to make a puff pastry, let me know if you want to see that. And I'll have, oh God, I have quite a few ideas for puff pastries and luncheon pastries. And we start with this, your basic pastry dough. So we're going to carry it. We're not making a puff pastry today. We're just using it. So I'm going to add this in to my mashed potato. I think I'm going to use a stiffer spoon. And we're going to mix this all in together. Great job if you've got kids at home. They can all, you know, help you stir a little bit. Or like I said, get that countertop mixer out to play. Or, as you can see, it's possible by hand. Took me a lot of years to get a really good countertop mixer. I made do with those little hand ones forever, and it didn't stop me. If I didn't do so much cooking from Whole Foods instead of packaged foods, I wouldn't even need one, but because they do take up some valuable real estate. Okay. Believe it or not, that is going to be our puff potatoes. So, just give me a sec. I've already pre-greased my mini tins. I just need to get a little tablespoon. Just stay here. I've already pre-greased them. I don't know. Like I've had these a few years. I've used them off and on. Not a lot. I've always been leery, but I see them being used more and more all the time by people. So I pulled mine out for the last year and I've been using them, and I don't know if you're supposed to grease them or not, but I do. Old habits, I guess. We're going to try and fill these up the same. I just want them pretty much level. If they're a little higher than level, that's okay. Again, just don't need to be anal about it. These are so forgiving and so impressive. And your kids, especially when you tailor the seasonings to suit them, they're going to want these all the time. You'll be making extra mashed potatoes. Guarantee it. I haven't paired this up with a beef dinner yet, but I've got a few ideas I'm thinking about. Change it just a little bit. So, like I said, the oven is set for 450 degrees. This should make 24. I do have 2 trays. I'm not going to make you watch me fill 2 of them. So we're going to put it in for approximately 18 to 20 minutes, I think. I'll double check that. Just did them last night. And they smell so good when they are cooking. Get in there, you. My hands are clean, by the way. I'm a hands-on cook. Okay, so we're just going to fancy these ones up just a wee little bit here. And I'm just going to put a little bit of cheese. I don't want a lot. I mean, these were so good. without the cheese. I just wanted to try it with, because then that would be more an hors d'oeuvre. I just served it with a ranch dressing mixed with a little bit of sour cream and some seasoning. They seem to go over very well. And my dogs, there was 3 left over from the 24. They were like bullying each other trying to get them. So I'm going to wash up. I'm going to fill up my other tray. I'm going to put these in the oven at 450. When they're nicely golden brown and ready to show off, I'll pull them back out and we'll bring you back. Okay, so we are back. They were cooking at 450 degrees. I figured about 20 minutes. I don't trust ovens, not even my own. I always set it 2 minutes prior to the time suggested. There's variables, your humidity, the heat in your home, the lack of. So, especially with an older electric, 2 minutes extra early just to check it. I'm glad I did. I decided to let it go to 19 because I don't want them really hard crunchy. I just want a little crunch on that. And look at these puffed up beautifully. Look at that. Yum. I got it. They're hot. You should let it sit for 10 minutes. Let's watch me suffer. He's signaling for the other half.
Oh yeah. Good.
Like I said, plate 3 of them up beside a steak. Even beside your eggs for morning. Fancy little, you got company coming or want the kids to get some potato in them that isn't a French fry. I guarantee you they're going to like these. Makes 24. There's only 23 now. We ate one. So, and these freeze well. I let them cool down and I served them, like I said, as an hors d'oeuvre. You can, sky's the limit. Put in the seasoning you want. Put in the filling you want. Take a picture. Send it to me. Let me know what you did. Let me know if you try these. And the reason I'm showing these, like I said, we have a jam every Saturday night. I always try to put a little munchie out for the people. And I posted the picture on my Facebook page. It got like 5 people. Where's the recipe? I want the recipe. And one particular, my little porch daughter from when she was younger would skip home from school and sit down and tell me her drama day. My porch daughter, Tatiana Steves. Here they are, honey. Show me when you make them because I know you're going to. And sweetie, you're using a lot of Epicure. Sky's the limits with your seasonings. Go for it. Show it to me. So everybody give us that thumbs up, please. Subscribe. Hit that little notification bell when you do. A pop-up comes up. It says all, some with friends. I don't know. Go for the all. You don't want to miss any. And if you want to see me do some puff pastry ideas for luncheons or like girls' night or just because somebody's special, let me know. See you next time. Thanks for joining us. Hey, it's me again. I just had to bring you back to show you. Here are the gluten-free. So what I've done is I put a gluten-free one beside the regular one. You tell me which is which. Can you tell? They're awesome. Success. Incoming, Rob. Again, everybody, thanks for watching. Please make these. I promise you, you won't be disappointed.